After everything we've talked about, the loss, the questions, the cost, the pain, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel like this is something too big, too complex, too far out of our control. And maybe at some point you've thought, what can I even do? Because when something affects so many lives, it can feel like there's nothing you can change. But that's not entirely true. Because even in something as difficult as this, there are still things we can do. Right now. Section 1. Shifting from fear to awareness. There's a difference between fear and awareness. Fear makes you feel powerless. Awareness gives you direction. And when it comes to something like cancer, that shift matters. Because this isn't about living in worry. It's about being informed, paying attention, taking your health seriously without letting fear control your life. Sometimes, it's the small things that make the biggest difference. Not because they guarantee anything, but because they give you a level of control. And in situations like this, even a small sense of control can matter a lot. Section 2. The power of early action. One of the most important things we have today is early detection. It's something that doesn't always get enough attention. Because people often wait, they put things off. They assume everything is fine. Until it isn't. Listening to your body, going for regular checkups, taking symptoms seriously. These aren't just suggestions. They're steps that can make a real difference. Not always, but sometimes, and sometimes is enough to matter. Section 3. Taking care of yourself in a real way. When people talk about health, it can sometimes feel overwhelming. Too many rules, too many opinions. But it doesn't have to be complicated. It comes down to simple things. How you live, how you eat, how you rest, how you manage stress. None of these are perfect solutions, but they're part of the bigger picture, because your overall health is built on what you do consistently, not occasionally. And even small improvements can have long-term impact. Section 4. Showing up for others. If someone in your life is going through cancer, you don't need perfect words. You don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply be there. Presence matters. More than advice, more than explanations. Just being there. Listening. Supporting. Sitting in silence when needed. Because when someone is going through something like this, they don't always need solutions. They need people. Section 5. The importance of community. No one should go through this alone. And yet, many people feel like they are. That's why community matters. Family, friends, support systems. Even conversations like this, they create connection. They remind people that they're not the only ones feeling this way. And sometimes, knowing you're not alone changes everything. Section 6. Holding on to hope. In the middle of everything, it's easy to focus on what's difficult, what's painful, what's uncertain. But there's another side. That deserves attention too. There are people surviving. There are treatments improving. There are stories that don't end in loss. And those stories matter because they remind us that progress is happening, even if it doesn't always feel fast enough. Section 7. What this really comes down to, at the end of all of this isn't just about a disease. It's about people. It's about how we show up for each other, how we support each other, how we value time and relationships, and moments that we often take for granted. Because experiences like this change how you see life. They remind you what actually matters. Section 8. Moving forward with purpose. Maybe we don't have all the answers. Maybe we never will. But that doesn't mean we do nothing. It means we focus on what we can control. Our awareness, our actions, our support for others. Because even small actions can have a ripple effect. And sometimes, that ripple effect reaches further than we realize. Final message. If this series has meant something to you, take a moment. Think about what you've felt, what you've experienced, what you've learned. Because this isn't just content. This is real life, real people, real experiences. And if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this: you're not powerless. You may not control everything, but you can control how you respond, how you care, how you show up, for yourself and for others. And that matters more than you think. If this message connected with you, share it. Because someone out there might need to hear this today.